It's Monday night. Ooh, I'm about 30 seconds early. 7:29. Okay, 7:30. Time for Monday Night Live. I know I was late making announcements. Hello, Joseph. Hey, Emma. What's up? What's up? Maddie. Hi, guys. Trip Nip. What up? Hey, Crazy. Man, it's nice to see you guys. Dang, guys, thanks for joining in. And Nathan, haven't seen you for a while, young man. Lauren, it's good to see everybody. Emma, that was an awesome story about you that Reagan told last week. So, dude, fist bump, kudos. You know, that's what it's all about. We take care of each other, don't we? Dirt Fam, Fitbit. Hey, guys. Man, everybody checking in on time this evening. That's awesome. So we'll give people a little bit of time. We got to give Claw a little bit of time to get home from work. I told her to get paper and pen. As an added little bonus tonight, Reagan, I'm going to bring Reagan back on for about 5 or 10 minutes and let her talk about some of her ideas for post-race recovery and things like that. Hey, Courtney, what's up? Girl in pink, in the house. Anyway, I'm going to bring Reagan on and let her talk about some of the things she does for post-race recovery. Because, to be honest with you, my post-race recovery is usually I'm going to sleep late on Monday. And I'm going to take my time getting up out of bed and probably crack and moan and groan and shuffle around the house for a while. Kirsten, what's up? So that's my post-race recovery. Drink a lot of water and take a long nap on Monday afternoon. JC, Arkansas girl, chug a beer. No, Joseph. We know chugging no beers. Wow, man, you guys clicked in fast. That's awesome. Let's see if we can get the girls who ride logging in. JC, we got to get Megan York on here. I haven't seen her for a while. You should message Megan and tell her about to log in so I can pick on her. So she knows I'm picking on her. Hey, Shannon, what's up? Reagan, what's up, man? All right, guys, we got several people. Oh, we got 13 people in. Let's go ahead and let's get rolling here. There you are, Liana. Liana, I was just saying that JC needs to holler at little Megan and tell her to log in because I haven't seen her all year. All year. I haven't seen her on here for a while. I mean, I see her on social media. Claw, you got your paper and pen? Reagan, you got your notes together? I'll holler at you in a bit to bring you in. Like I said earlier, I'm just kind of... Good job, JC. I'm just kind of freestyling tonight. Hey, Noah, good to see you, man. Bradley! Because I was planning on being at Time to Ride yesterday and kind of creeper stalking Reagan Potts as she worked with younger riders. But we all kind of sort of got rained out with that, lots of mud. And I don't know if you guys saw Time to Ride's post. They got hit by a storm hard Friday, I think it was. Part of the roof, the cover on their half barn got ripped off, things ripped, torn, strewn all over the place. So they got hit by some seriously high winds. And anyway, so nobody was hurt as far as I know. But so I didn't go riding yesterday, and I was really going to be talking about that and talking about Reagan working with younger riders. But Mother Nature did not cooperate. So anyway, got a great tip from Amanda Painter, and she suggested that I talk about our mental health and our goals for mental health, maybe tips and tricks for cleansing your mind and get on a better path, and then also talking about not letting fear lead your actions. So I'm going to start with that. I want to start with part of my journey that I've been on. And Mare, good to see you. about 2 years ago, I quit taking the last of my major antidepressants. Hey, Braxton. And I kind of did it accidentally without my doctor's advice. Prescription ran out. It wasn't helping me anyway, so I just quit taking it. Yeah, that wasn't such a good thing after about a month. Anyway, most of you guys have never seen my real temper. Yeah, I know you guys have seen me intense and a little fiery, but my temper is really, really nasty. So I wanted to get off medication. I want to be as med-free as possible. And I'm very transparent about it. I go to therapy once a week to help me deal with the fact that I do have a nasty temper. And I started meditating to help calm my mind. I've been meditating for about a year. And hey, Amanda, I'm already talking about you, man. So I started the meditation. I do it every day, almost every day. It's 10 minutes. Sometimes I'll add sessions in and whatnot, but it's a lot about mindfulness. And this is not preachy. This is not cult, guru, crazy stuff, right? All it is, it's a mindset. It's a way to approach life because I have such a temper. And because I need to, even at 55, I need help controlling it. And this will lead into dealing with fear as well, guys. But anyway, so mindfulness is basically a philosophy of live in the moment. If you live in the past, you're wasting your time and energy on something that's already happened. If you live in the future worrying about, well, what if, you're still wasting time and energy on something you have no control over. All you have control over is the moment you're in. And if you think about it and start adopting that mindset, it helps with a lot of things. But more importantly, it's helped me as I've struggled with my asthma in the summer months to keep me from getting upset. It's breathing technique, but it's also working with controlling the pinball thoughts in your mind. Because I have pinball thoughts, y'all. While I'm racing, and especially while I was still teaching, I'm racing and I'm going through the woods and trees are flying past me and I'm like, did I do my lesson plans? Are we having a test? Oh, wait, I think I'm getting evaluated next week. And this is why trees are going past me. That's not safe. That's not good. So as we all know, I am a tad bit on the ADHD side as well. I do get distracted by squirrels, snakes, leaves, you name it. I'm going to be looking at it. Anyway, so the meditation for me is it teaches you to cut those thoughts off. Now, guys, this takes a lot of practice. A lot of people think meditation is you clear your mind completely and you don't have a thought. That's not how our brain works at all. It's always got thoughts going. The question is, are you going to follow each and every one of those thoughts down the rabbit hole and get stuck? Because that's what it's all about. So you don't chase the thoughts. You learn to acknowledge that the thought was there, and then you let it go. And let me tell you what. When you're racing and you got crazy thoughts pinballing around, you need to find a way to stop that thought immediately and get focused. Because I laugh and joke that I'd rather smack a tree than, not even funny, Joseph, how many concussions, not concoctions. I'd rather smack a tree than eat pavement, but you can only smack so many trees and it starts hurting after a while. So anyway, one of the things that I have been using for the last year is meditation and mindfulness. Along with that, it's the mindset of kindness and compassion. Y'all know before coronavirus, we already had so much negativity in the world. Now it's even crazier. And it's very easy to get all caught up in the what if. But again, what if is about a lot of things you have no control over. All you can control is this very moment and what's happening right now. So when you when you crash on your bike in the middle of a race, yeah, you can get awfully upset. You can get mad, throw your goggles, kick your bike. We've seen it in Supercross. The professionals have done it. It doesn't do any good. It just wastes time. The sooner you can calm back down, and yes, definitely, Amanda, mindfulness and compassion. The sooner you can calm down, the sooner you can get back on your bike and get back in your groove. It's very hard to ride angry and stay focused. A lot of times when you're riding angry, man, that's twice as dangerous because you're not in your groove, you're not aware of everything. And that's part of what mindfulness is, being aware in the moment of what's happening at that exact moment. And we all know you got to focus. So that's what I use. Am I saying y'all got to go meditate? No. And by the way, I do not sit with my fingers like this. It's suggested that you sit on the floor or on a cushion with your back straight. Well, guys, hey, dirt bike racer. Yes, Braxton, it is very crazy. But my back and my hips after all this time racing is, I can't sit on the floor. So I sit in the recliner couch. I kick my feet back and, but that works for me. So anyway, I don't burn incense. I can't, I have asthma. So that's what works for me. But anyway, it's something, if you're interested in it, if you have a pinball brain like mine, Google it. Do some reading on it. Feel free to message me and ask me questions. I'm not an expert. I still have all kinds of thoughts while I'm meditating, but I've learned to not get caught up in them. And y'all, our brain is our first best supporter and our first worst enemy, you know? I hear you, Emma. You've also had a baby or two, so, you know, that doesn't help. So, you know, your brain can be your best friend. It's like, yay, best cheerleader. And then you know how your brain, what are you doing? Really? You totally suck. You look stupid. Why are you even trying this? Just give up. Stop now. And then it just becomes a horrible avalanche of thoughts. Mindfulness helps stop that. And how has it helped me? Well, when I crash repeatedly and the heat is really taking its toll, I take my deep breaths and get myself back on the bike. I take several drinks of water, get myself calm back down, and then I start the bike and I go. Riding angry, I can't remember the last time I've ridden angry. I've ridden distracted in the last couple of years, but not angry. Angry is dangerous, really dangerous, guys. So anyway, that's what I use. Not saying you have to, but I can tell you that we've all been there. We crash. We were in first, or we were right on first place, and we were right there, and we crash, and we get mad, and we pick up the bike, and we kick it, and it doesn't start. And if you'd have taken one deep breath, put your bike in neutral, kicked it once, it probably would have fired off. But no, you're all in a hurry. You're mad. Gotta go. And y'all, I was there for a long time. I started racing when I was 17, and believe me, I was a fireball back then. I was a handful. I used to pull into checkpoint yelling at whoever was going to punch my punch guard. Punch it. Scaring the crap out of the poor person who's punching, you know. So I was there. And it took me a long time to realize, y'all, we do this for fun. That's why my motto is live to ride another day. And I mean, I know Freestone's running this week, y'all. Personally, I don't agree with it. I don't think there should be any activities going on right now. Let's live to ride another day. Discretion's the better part of valor. Let's be smart about the decisions we make. Okay? That's my soapbox there. So mental toughness, how do you get it? Because we get frustrated so fast and so easy. And I think a lot of our frustration comes from we're worried what we look like. We're worried that we look like a spode. And a spode, we should all know by now is a goon rider. But you're not doing it on purpose. It's because you just don't have a whole lot of experience. So you have a hard time going in a straight line. You stall your bike a lot. Have a hard time negotiating corners. Y'all, I still fall in flat corners. just because I had a brain fart. I wasn't paying attention and just, and I fall over. It happens. There you go, Bradley. High five. So I think a lot of it is right here where we talk ourselves into, oh, we can't do this. No way. No, we look terrible. I look stupid. I don't want to look stupid in front of so-and-so. So-and-so will look stupid in front of you on occasion. Why don't I? Oh, you know what? I wasn't even thinking about you, Dirt Fam Racing. But, see, and guys, read all these comments here. Does it, guys, girls, old, young, in between age, whatever. Everybody's been there. Fall on flat ground all the time. Or I will go into a turn and I don't know what happens. Then all of a sudden I sit up straight and then I just fall over and high side. Yeah, short people problems, definitely. I will always claim that one. So this fear, I want to talk about the fear. And I did not tell any of my Gutbuster teammates that I was scared. I did not, because I was the one who said, yo, let's go do this. We got to go run the Gutbuster. None of us had ever ridden at night, much less raced at night, a cross-country course, blind, some of us. Starting the race in neutral, right, Reagan? But y'all, when I got out there and it was dark, it was getting dark, and I had to have the headlights on in the woods. The sun was down far enough. A rainstorm had blown in. The front had come in, and it was dark for 6 o'clock at night in June. I remember I was in the woods, and I was like, LJ, what have you gotten yourself into? And it was at that very instant, I was like, there was a nanosecond of fear, and I just pushed it out of my brain. And I didn't worry about it. I said, let's just ride and see what happens. So we have to face our fear. We have to acknowledge it. You can't just push it away and ignore it. You acknowledge it. And, anybody who tells you they're never scared of anything at all, I think they're pulling your leg a little bit. We all have something that we fear. And it's not just struggling with. It's something we fear. My favorite is hitting neutral coming out of a corner. Oh, yeah, that's always fun. Was the bravest for going back out at 11 p.m. with 2.5 laps. Yes, Laura Stratton was definitely brave going out on her lap at 11 p.m. in the rain. But, guys, fear is healthy. And actually my meditation this morning talked about being uncomfortable. And if you get outside of your comfort zone, sometimes you accomplish great things, or things that you never thought possible, because you want to stay in your comfort zone. And I will tell you, I suck at ruts. I am terrible at ruts. Even to this day, it's something I still have to work on. And it's something at this point in my career, I still have to go, LJ, look to the end. Don't look down at your fender. Look to the end. I have to physically tell myself that. And sometimes I will second guess myself and I'll chop the throttle because I'm panicking. And that's when you fall over, because you chop the throttle, because you let the fear get a hold of you. So, I never even told Joe that I was actually scared. I never verbalized this to anybody. Y'all are getting true confession tonight. But you know what? It was an amazing experience. I couldn't get my eyes open wide enough when we were riding at dark at night there at Gutbuster. I was trying to let as much light as possible in. But it was an amazing experience, and I'm so glad we did it. So fear, you got to face it. You got to let it get you out of your comfort zone. Because if you're always in your comfort zone, you're not going to try anything new or challenging. Hey, JD, nice of you to join again, man. And that's the thing. That's how we face fear. We know it's going to make us uncomfortable. And, we do things. If you do things that make you uncomfortable, you don't like it. But when you get through with it, the outcome sometimes is definitely worth what you went through. So, And I think I mentioned last week or the week before, right now I am still struggling a wee bit with downhills. Yes, Amanda, that was a freaking amazing experience. We definitely broke through some fearful moments that night, definitely. But I'm still struggling with downhills, real steep downhills, especially if they're rutted or rocky. I am scared of them right now because I had a couple incidents last season where I went down them and the bike came over and flipped over on top of me going down the hill. So that is something I have to continue to face and work on. And I will tell you, if I'm really scared, I'll walk the bike down. And it takes longer to do that, but I'm going to get down one way or the other. And if it requires me walking the bike down to get down it the first time to see how bad it is or is not, then that's what I'm going to do. So that's something I got to work on. That's my fear right now, because we all know I don't jump. I mean, I don't launch it. I don't do doubles or anything. Yeah, the black eye, that wasn't even very steep. That was just poor riding position. I was too far on the tank. That's a story for another day, the black eye and the broken hand. On my birthday, no less. But anyway, cleanse your mind. Get on a better path. Face your fear, but don't get wrapped up in it. When you let those fearful thoughts take off running, man, they're going to drag you down the worst rabbit hole ever, or you're going to be Luke Skywalker and you're going to be facing Darth Vader down in the cave, So, you have to find what works for you. But I think the first step is really acknowledging the fear, facing it. But then, don't let it grab hold of you. It's there. Okay, fine. And then you find a way to work with it. When we went to ride the Sandwinder Enduro, we knew it was going to be the last time Dirt Fam Racing, Stephanie, was going to get to ride for probably a year because she was fixing to have surgery on her wrist and everything. And she said, well, what if God bless you, Steph. She watched all the the track recon videos, and was seeing these huge logs that you were going to have to go over. And she started flipping out a little bit. She's like, what do I do if I come to it? What do I do? And I said, you find a way. You either ghost ride it over, get off, walk it over, or find a way around. There's a way to get over, through, beyond the obstacle. But once you stop and let the fear take a hold of you, you've lost your ability to think rationally. Now the fear is taken over and your mind is just going 90 to nothing. What if? Remember, what if we have no control over? All we have control over is that particular moment right then and there. Hunter Hargis just got married recently. Congratulations, Hunter. Can't believe you're old enough to be married. But anyway, he asked me for his wife. She wants to know, because she's just learning to ride, so I'm kind of switching topics now. She wants to know, how do you make your bike go where you want it to go? She struggles with pointing the bike and turning it the direction she wants it to go. Part of that is once you figure out that we're not really turning as much as we are leaning. And the other thing is you kind of point your front end in the right direction and don't fight it. When you fight the front end, that's when you're going down. And that's when it usually hurts. So some of you that I've ridden with, you may hear me say, let the front end dance, which means let it go where it's going to go. Go with it, and then gradually bring it back on course. When you try to yank it back on course, especially in the sand or the mud or rocks, that's probably when you're going to go down. So that actually, my answer to that isn't too technical so much as it's learning to adjust to the front end as you go. And that's more a question that I can answer when I'm riding with somebody, when we're out actually riding a trail or something. But we've all been there where you point it and you hit the throttle and next thing you know, you're going another direction. A lot of that is body position on the bike, and also how much throttle did you grab a hold of, and also are you fighting the front end? So there are those things to consider. You guys got questions about, or comments, more comments about mental toughness and things like that? Rob always tells me you control with shifting your body rather than steer. Yes. And if you are in the woods with a good woods rider, you won't see them turning through the woods. You're going to see them leaning. And remember, that's why I tell you to keep your feet on the pegs so that you've got your knees tight around the bike. Look where you want to go. Yeah, definitely. Look ahead. Look where you want to go. And I will be honest that when I'm riding behind people in the woods and they keep putting their feet out for every turn, like it's a supercross track, I'm thinking, why are you putting your feet down? You don't need to. The other thing is there's a stump or a root or a rock that's going to grab your foot and twist your ankle or mess your knee up. Yep, stand up. That's right, Bradley. Stand up. Object fixation. Oh my gosh. That's me with ruts, Liana. Object fixation. Yes. That's why I have to verbally tell myself, look up, LJ. Look down the trail. Actually, I have a good strong signal tonight, so it might just be you, Emma, because I haven't had any glitches tonight. I got my DSL back up and running, but sorry, we're having buffering issues. Reagan, any more comments before I bring Reagan on? Get your paper and pen ready if you're interested in some suggestions for post-race recovery, because I'm going to bring Reagan on and have her explain some of that. So, also, guys, if you want to know about meditation, or if you just want to talk about kindness and compassion and mindfulness, just Google the idea of mindfulness. It's creating positivity by not being negative. That's really what it is. And so instead of looking at somebody going, I'll bet that guy's an idiot, that's a negative thought. Get rid of it. Clear that negative space. Don't even let it form in your brain. Cut it off. Do I practice mindfulness with eating as well? Hunger rating. I don't, Claw. But I have made some changes in how much I eat and what I eat, simply because, age sets in and your body doesn't process food the way it used to, and it doesn't, metabolize it very well. So, as far as eating, though, but I will tell you this, the mindfulness part, Claw, I'm just thinking about this, is how you treat yourself. Like, if you were, having a great week, you've eaten well and healthy every day, and then all of a sudden on Thursday you get hit by sugar cravings, and you just give in and you stop at Sonic on the way home. It's okay. How do you treat yourself? Because your mind can be pretty nasty to yourself. And as far as berating you, oh, you were doing so good. Look at you. You screwed up. You've ruined everything. Your brain will tell you all that stupid crap. That's where you have to stop the thought. So you can apply mindfulness too if you are trying to eat better and eat healthier and things like that. Some people should practice mindfulness with toilet paper. Yeah, you're right. That is for sure. Everybody's been kind of crazy stupid about the toilet paper. Yeah, Klaus, see, that's part of what mindfulness is. Don't allow your thoughts to be your worst enemy, because they can. And that's a lot of where some our self-esteem issues come from, is just from our mind taking one comment and running rampant with it. So, but we can talk about that more if you want. There you are. Here's trouble right here, y'all. Megan, it's good to see you, man. How are you? Well, yes, I do want to pick on you, Megan. I want to have a snowball fight with you. I want to splatter muddy water on you. I might want to kick you over in a turn or something like that. But unfortunately, right now, we can't have any meetups so that we could do that. But I'm down for it anytime. So, how have you been? Do you have any thoughts on post-race recovery? Because that's what we're fixing to talk about. Reagan, are you still with us? Little Miss Reagan Potts, are you here? Or did we lose Reagan? Um, Anybody? Ooh, it got quiet. There we go. Yes. Yeah, Steph. We can only control so much. You're right. And that's part of the philosophy of mindfulness. And y'all, it's not, like I said, it's not some creepy, crazy cult or anything like that. It's just a way of thinking. All right, guys, I'm bringing Reagan in right now so she can tips and pointers on post-race recovery. Because like I said, I don't think mine are very scientific. Hey, Reagan.
I'm back.
It's good to see you. Hey, are you
Yeah.
in the state or are you still in Colorado?
No, I'm back. I'm back in Rockwall, back in Texas.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we're not going to hear any fire alarms?
No, we're good. I promise we're good this time. Yeah.
All right. So, hey, Peyton Marcelino. Thanks for joining us. All right. So, do you have a list of post-race recovery stuff? What do you have for us?
Okay. Over the past probably like year or so, I've been focusing a lot on workouts, recovery, pre-race, post-race, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So it's more like just a compiled list of things that I have taken notes over
Okay.
like a period of time. But I think there's a few things in here that are probably best to touch on, you know, and
Yeah.
both is like the physical side and the mental side as well. So
Yeah.
I think both are really important, and especially in the post race. I mean, the pre race is important as well, but the post race is honestly very important. And
Yeah.
you touched a lot on the mental side just now, but
Well,
I'll talk about the physical stuff for sure.
yeah, but if you have stuff that you can piggyback on, with how the mental also connects with the physical, just throw it out there, take it and run. So
Cool. Yeah. All right. First thing I'm going to talk about is this. It's called limitations and compensators. So every athlete has some kind of limitation. It might be a physical limitation, a mental limitation, but nonetheless, everyone has one.
right.
For me, mine is my lungs. So the four main parts of the body that contribute to racing would be your heart, your lungs, your blood, and your muscles.
Right.
Of those four, you probably do have one that's a weaker link. Everyone basically has one that they could definitely pinpoint and say it's the weaker one out of them.
Mm-hmm.
For a lot of people, it is their muscles. But for me, it's my lungs, just because I have really bad asthma. So yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome to the party.
I know, right?
Yeah, so my lungs are not that great, but there is another side of that, which is the compensators. So the compensators are basically what they sound like. They are the body parts that compensate for your limitations. So
Okay.
let's say, for example, for me, because I have, pretty bad lungs, that's my limitation. I would say that my compensator would probably be my heart, just because my lungs are so overworked during races and things like that. My heart tends to try to compensate that by pushing more blood flow, pumping more blood through the heart, and things like that, and creating a higher heart rate for me.
Okay.
So something that I would say to like combat this kind of thing would be figure out what your limitation is. Everyone, like I said, everyone has one, and everyone can figure out what theirs is. It comes with time, but you can figure it out. I promise you can. I'm 19 years old, and I figured mine out. Mine might be a little bit easier just because I have asthma, but nonetheless, you can figure it out.
Right.
So figure out what yours is. I can't really tell you exactly what to do, but if you do have any questions, once you figure yours out, I can definitely answer them, help you figure out what your compensator is, as well as what you can do about that. But first thing you need to do is figure out what your limitation is. The second thing I was going to touch on was things you can do, specific things that you can do after a race to help you throughout the week. I know a lot of people are working throughout the week, going to school, so we don't really have time, like professional riders do, to, take a day or so and, focus just on recovery. So this is more for the people who, have a life outside of racing, which I'm sure many of us do. First thing I'm going to talk about is the muscles. So many people think that ice baths are like the way to go. They're not.
They're painful.
I'm just going to clear that one up.
Ice baths. I've done it.
Yeah,
they hurt.
Well, they hurt, and they're good for you. And if you're going to do an immediate ice bath, like hop off your bike and get in an ice bath, that is
Mm-hmm.
when they are good for you. However, if you're gonna wait until the next day, if you're gonna wait 2 days later to take an ice bath, it is worthless to you at this point.
There you go.
Something that I can kind of like read off for y'all just because I have it in my notes. The problem with ice baths would be it actually disrupts the homeostasis in your body, and when you do that, you actually how do I explain this the best? Basically, your body does not actually respond with the same authority that it would if you had just let it be. So this can create a lot of actual issues with men and women, with men
Mm-hmm.
and women. This can create less testosterone in men, and it can actually give you like growth hormones that you don't really need. It can change your appetite, and actually it will lower the like time period of your recovery. So those things are not as great as people think they are.
So
What I will say though is what I
well, I was going to
sorry.
say,
Go.
just for everybody, no. So an ice bath, unless it's immediately after you're done, it really is going to adversely affect your body's natural healing process.
Right, definitely.
Okay.
It actually takes it. So let's say you did a very hard workout, and then a day later you're like, I'm really sore, I want an ice bath. Well, that's gonna take your hard workout and basically throw it in the trash can.
All right.
Because
Okay.
you're just disrupting your body. Your body will heal. It's gonna hurt, but it will heal. Yes, you can use Advil and Tylenol if you want. Yeah, it's definitely. I don't really. I'm not gonna touch too much on like drugs or anything, but like yes, Advil and Tylenol are good for that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably best if you find out which one is best for your body, just
Yes.
because they do a little bit different things. So if you want to look more, I don't know that much about the two, but I do know that they do very different things to your body. So you might want to check those out.
Mm-hmm.
The
See,
second thing,
because I don't take either one of those. They don't work for me. Motrin works for me.
yes, definitely.
Our chemistry is all different. Brad says ice baths slow down the blood flow so you don't get the flow to your
Yes,
muscles.
that
Yeah.
is
Okay.
that is
Good.
actually what I was about to talk about. There is an alternative to ice baths that
Okay.
is actually much better for me. That I think is much better for everyone. It's fairly new, and a lot of people. It's very. It's one of those things that people either love or they hate. But I definitely recommend
Yeah.
everyone goes and tries it. Cryotherapy. So
I've read about that and heard about it.
yeah, so a lot of people have a lot of different responses to cryotherapy. What about Epsom salt baths? Epsom salt baths are great. I don't care who you are, get an Epsom salt bath. They are relaxing, they're good for your mind, they're good for your body. Absolutely take Epsom salt baths.
Yes,
Good job. That's a
Joe
great one.
knows because he had a nasty get off at Vintage Motocross 2 weeks ago, and he took 4 baths in 3 days or something like that. Lex
Yeah,
MX, what's
they're
up?
great. They are
Anyway,
great for you.
all right, keep going.
So yeah, cryotherapy. For you, those of you that do not know about cryotherapy, I'm going to explain it very quickly and in a condensed bio about it. If you want to read more about it, you can. I can send you some really awesome articles about it. Yeah, so if you have any questions about it, I do it all the time. I try to do, when I'm in town, I try to do it once a week at least. They say that the more hardcore you are as an athlete, that you should do it more. When I was in high school, when I was playing softball, running track, doing all those things, I did it about 3 times a week, if that gives you any idea of what.
Yeah.
So right now, I just do it 1 time a week. But however, cryotherapy, the benefits of it. Well, sorry, let me go back to explaining what it is. Cryotherapy is basically getting inside a chamber, a cryotherapy chamber, and taking your body down to a very intense, low temperature very quickly. This sends your body into a fight or flight kind of mode and actually causes the heart to pump blood into all the vital organs, taking all of the blood that was in your other parts of your body and pumping it straight to vital organs, revitalizing those organs and things like that. So some of the benefits of it would probably be burning high amounts of calories at very small amounts of time. So if that's kind of important to you, if you're looking for some kind of like low calorie or high calorie burner, very short amount of time, that's how you do it. It only takes about 2 or 3 minutes. That's how long your body can stay in there without, going into any kind of shock or anything.
Right.
So, yeah, burning calories. So the temperature is anywhere from a -100 to -150 degrees Fahrenheit. Some go higher. Mine go
Wow.
higher, but they recommend starting at about 100 to 150 degrees Fahrenheit.
Sounds like a Canadian winter to me.
it's it's very. I will say the very first time I did it, I was really kind of scared about it, but as soon as I got out, I felt great. It's one of those things that you do and you feel it over a few days. Like you feel it instantly, but you also feel the benefits the next few days.
Okay.
If you can y'all see me? Sorry, it kind of paused.
Yeah, no,
If you have any
you're
type
good.
of like
It's all right.
migraine, okay. If you have any type of migraines, it'll help with that. It is said that it will help you regulate your sleep pattern better. It obviously helps with pain management, reduces inflammation, and also if you're looking for like a weight loss, because of the calorie burning deficit that it does such quickly, it also promotes weight loss.
Yeah.
So I highly, sounds like it doesn't hurt. I promise you, it does not hurt. Everyone thinks that it hurts. Everyone's really scared to try it. I was horrified to try it, but it doesn't hurt. What it does is you sit there, and the person who's working the machine, they sit there and talk to you. Like we're having a conversation right now. They sit there,
Yeah.
they talk you through it. And while you're in it, you also rotate. You're turning your body around as you can. And you also have special gloves on, special socks on to make sure that, like, you know, obviously nothing happens to your
Right. No frostbite.
fingers, things like that.
Yeah.
Yes, but no,
Okay.
it does not hurt. It might feel, you know, a little uncomfortable just because, you know, it is -150 degree weather, but you know, it doesn't. It's not painful and it's not anything like that. Does your heart go wacky? No, for the most part. The first time you did it, you might, you know, have a little bit more adrenaline kicking through you, and you know, for that, your heart might, you know, race a little bit. But other than that,
Yeah.
like I said, it's very much trying to keep you calm. And like I said, because your heart is pumping so much blood, you're not really going to feel any type of like, hey, my heart's kind of pumping, like, you know, jumping through my chest or anything. Not anything like that. That's probably the thing that I recommend the most on this list.
All right, guys. Hi, Maddie Pippin 24. All right, so it sounds like I'm going to have a field trip to a cryotherapy and do a treatment and then do Monday Night Live and report back to you guys, or I will do it live right when I go in and right when I come out. Do you shrink? Oh my God, Joe, come on.
No, sadly, my hair might shrink in it.
Oh,
my hair might be.
Just
ignore
him.
Like, I think it's good.
Ignore him, Reagan. Just move on. So,
all right.
therapy. What else?
Yes, the next thing I want to talk about, arm pump. We all get it. We all hate it. We all don't want to deal with it. Whether you're a motocross rider, might hurt a little bit more. For, you know, if you whichever branch of, you know, racing that you do, it's gonna hurt more for the other one that you don't do.
Yeah.
So what I recommend for arm pump. Number one, someone did say pickle juice earlier. Yes,
Yeah,
pickle juice is actually very good for you. It is very good for you. Yeah, highly recommend pickle juice. But what I also recommend is Pedialyte. Pedialyte is actually very good for you. I drink Pedialyte. I probably drink 2 a weekend when we're at the races.
Right.
And they actually have come up with these things called Pedialyte Pops. They are like popsicles, and it's straight Pedialyte. And it's awesome, and I love them, and they're great. Another thing that I would recommend for arm pump, if you are working out, if you're doing any type of workouts, things like that, I highly recommend doing low weight, high reps. Just because, yeah, you know, like when you're riding and you've already done, you know, a very large amount of weight during the week, you're bound to get arm pump much faster.
Right.
So yeah, definitely do low weight, high reps. I also recommend doing massaging beforehand and also stretching beforehand.
Yeah.
Training your forearms is also a big thing. People don't really realize that you can train your forearms. It might not be in the normal ways that you think that you can, but I promise you can. I know I talked about it last week a little bit. I did rock climbing for a semester when I was at.
That's awesome.
Yeah, when I was at UT Arlington, and yeah, that is actually very good for your forearms. And when I was doing it, my arm pump, I honestly never got it. So if y'all have any kind of question about like what you can do, what you need to do about arm pump, and any kind of like workout ideas, I can definitely help you out with that as well. Moving on, nutrition. Nutrition is a big one. I know that Claude definitely said something about nutrition a little bit earlier. and how you can be mindful about your nutrition, it is probably the most important thing, to me at least, that you should be working on. Like I said, we are not all like professional racers. This is just something that we love to do. And
Right.
because of that, it's definitely very important to work on your nutrition throughout the week, especially those first few days after racing.
Yeah.
It is essential that you drink water. I'm not going to say anything else. That's it.
Well, you
Water.
have to. And I will tell you this. I kind of have done a self-imposed cleanse. I haven't had any alcohol since December 26th. And if you know me, people know I love my beer. But it has made a huge difference in the couple of races that we've had in January and February.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, so yeah, and definitely what you take in will affect, you know, it'll affect your performance. And, you know, and that doesn't mean you have to go on a strictly vegan diet for the rest of your life, but it does mean you got to give up some stuff like bread. Bread's the number one, really and truly.
Yeah,
Hate
definitely.
to tell you all this, bread and potato chips. And I love them both.
Yeah, it's true. I love them both too.
So one of the things that I think is really cool now is how, especially in the Supercross world, they are so in tune with training regimen, the type of training, and you know, they've all got either road racing bicycles, you know, or they've got the mountain bikes.
Oh, don't worry, I'm going to touch on that too. Don't worry, I got that.
And you know, because when Supercross first started, they were working out, but it wasn't like what they do now. So
definitely,
and with personal,
definitely.
you know, with personal trainers on staff and all of that kind of stuff. So definitely it can be sport specific.
You know, people say that there is a nutrition craze happening and that there is this kind of push for personal trainers and things like that, but it should be something that you should already incorporate into your life. You don't need a personal trainer to do these type of things. All of the things that I'm talking to y'all about right now, they are simple, they are easy. I'm not going to ask y'all to go out and, you know, do something crazy just because, you know, like you think you need to do better. The cryotherapy, it costs $20. It's $20.
Really?
That's it. That's it. Yeah. I mean, the place that I go in Rockwall, it is $20 a week. And that could be like y'all going out one night. Like that could be anything. Just swap them out.
You're totally right.
The other thing I was gonna say about nutrition was high carbs, lean meats, so like fish or chicken, and then eating. I know that the whole idea of three square meals a day is like set into everyone's mind. That is not necessarily true. You should probably be eating about 5 to 6 small meals a day, actually. So 5 to 6 meals. When I say 5 to 6 meals, everyone freaks out and everyone's like, "How could I possibly eat 5 to 6 meals a day?"
Well, you're not talking about a 5-course meal.
Yeah,
5 times.
I'm not talking about big meals. I'm talking about very small things like under 500 calories, under 300 calories. Honestly, you should probably be taking, as an athlete, if you're working, depending on how much you're working out. I know they say 2,000, but if you're working out immensely, I would say 2,500. Yeah. So you should keep that in the back of your head. You don't have to calorie count. You don't have to do any of that stuff. I will say though that if you eat 5 meals a day versus 3 meals a day, you are helping out your metabolism, and that is a very important part. As racers, the average beats per minute that a racer experiences during a race is about anywhere from 170 to 190. That's about 90 to 100% of an athlete's heart, if y'all don't know that. Yeah, if done right, it does speed up your metabolism. The key word is if done right.
Yeah, this is true. Well, you know, the other thing, I'm going to go on the flip side of it too. You can go out and Google all kinds of stuff, and you will find people who disagree with the 5 to 6 small meals a day. And then you'll find people who totally endorse it. The key thing here also is what works for you. Try it. You know, it's just like when some people offer me advice on riding. Well, sometimes that person is 6'2".
Exactly. Yeah.
And
Definitely.
what that person can do with their 6'2" leverage, I ain't got. So I'm like,
Yeah,
thanks,
definitely.
I'll keep that in mind. But
Absolutely.
so take everything with a grain of salt, do some research to back it up, try it, and if you don't like it, it's okay. Or if it doesn't work for you.
Yeah.
So
Definitely. Yeah, and if y'all don't agree with anything I'm saying, I promise you, you can find the opposite of what I'm saying that also endorses it as well. You just have to figure out what works for you. This is just
exactly.
the stuff that works. So, you never know. But I will say that I've tried to get my dad to do some of this stuff, and he does like some of it. He's not a big fan of the cryotherapy, but it's all just a
I
matter
want to
of
try it.
perspective.
I'm gonna try
You
it.
should.
I'm gonna give it a try.
It's probably it's the biggest thing that I endorse for sure. Like it is my favorite thing to do, even if I like don't even really need it. It's a nice mental way to clear your mind as well.
Yeah.
Because once again, your body is in this fight or flight mode. You're not thinking about what you have to do tomorrow. You're not thinking about how you did in your race yesterday. You are solely thinking about, wow, I'm cold. That is it.
And is it 3 minutes yet? Is it done yet?
Definitely. Claustrophobia, your head is not in it. It's just your body, so just don't look down. And it comes to about shoulders.
So it's like a tube?
Yeah, definitely. Just
Okay.
comes to like shoulders. And other than that, I mean, just don't look down, I guess. I don't really know that much about claustrophobia other than, I mean, I don't have it, so I can't really say anything about it. But I feel like it'd be okay with it. I mean, you can always go try it, and if you don't like it, then I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I tell you what, I'll do a field trip and I will video and I'll even see if we can't do a live. Okay, and we can go live and you can video while I'm in freezing my little tushy off. How's that?
It's fine. We can do it.
And we can report back. How's that, Claw?
All right. The last few things I want to get out really fast.
Okay.
If you don't think that you can do the 5 meals a day, if you don't think that you can, drink your water weight in water as you're supposed to do, start simple. You can, just start by cutting out the junk food, the processed foods, the, simple sugar. Start by just taking things that, you think that are prohibiting you from doing your best and just removing them from the equation.
And read the labels. If you can't pronounce the ingredients, then you don't want to eat it.
I don't eat it. I promise you, you don't want to eat it.
This is going to sound terrible, but it's a lot like dog food. If the first couple of ingredients are cornmeal, starch, something, it's not good.
Yeah.
So, anyway, what else?
Yeah. Okay. The next thing I want to endorse is protein powder. If you are into that kind of thing, if you are into like weightlifting and things like that, protein powder is good for you. I wouldn't say take it in excess. You're not trying to be a bodybuilder. You're not trying to, be anything crazy. You're just a motocross rider, and it does help. There are a few that I like, but I'm not the biggest, workout buff. I mean, I do like to work out a lot, but I'm not. I know a few, but I'm not gonna, go crazy and try to tell you anything. Don't know. So
I would say with protein powder, that needs to be a lot of personal research.
It definitely does. Yes, definitely.
Everybody's body reacts differently to protein powder. Oh, whatever, Joe. I've been reading the labels for years now. Anyway, what else you got, Reagan? Just ignore cycle suspension.
The next thing I would probably say is take vitamins. It doesn't even have to be, something crazy. Literally just take like a multivitamin, just a daily multivitamin. I promise it does actually boost your immune system, and it does really help. Another thing that I would say about nutrition, this is going to be the last thing I say about it, emergency. So it's pronounced emergence and then literally a C.
Yep.
That stuff is amazing. I promise. Are Oreos okay? Listen, Oreos are like...
Dirt Fam Racing. This person is your soul sister.
Oh, yeah. Are Oreos okay? I wish, that's great.
You know what?
Honestly, that's my weakness, and like I'm sitting here, preaching to y'all about eating healthy, and like I love Oreos. So,
but that's the thing. When you do start paying attention to what you eat, you do have to throw in a cheat. You do have to not spoil, but you have to give your body that every now and then.
Yeah.
Yes.
Throw yourself a bone.
Because it actually is it helps. It's a quick reset for your metabolism and stuff. So it's actually okay to do that, once a week.
Yeah, definitely. But, yeah, it's okay.
Definitely.
I mean, they'll be crazy about it.
Yeah,
It's totally
exactly.
okay, you know,
Yeah.
but everyone needs their one thing, you know. Everyone
Mhm.
has their one thing that they have a problem with, and you know what? It's okay. It's not the end of the world if you know have one
Right.
bad day. So finally, there's a few more things. Excuse me. Cycling and rowing. I know that she talked about that a little bit with the pros doing it,
Yeah.
and like
Hmm.
that. It's not just a pro thing, guys. It is an everyday thing. It is an everyone thing. It's not just an
Yeah.
athlete thing. Cycling is a very good way to get your heart rate to a lower heart rate than it is during a race, but for a longer period of time. This goes for rowing as well. I was on the rowing team at Oklahoma State, and I learned a lot from it. And to this day, I still use rowing in my workouts for probably about 30 minutes.
Hmm.
So it is. It's definitely a very important part. I know people hate running and things like that. Trust me, I ran track in high school, and you know what? I can't run a mile to save my life.
You know
I
what?
hate running.
I was just thinking about rowing. That's one of the few things where it's similar to riding because it's using all of your body.
Definitely, yeah,
And, because running, it's just really using your lower body, your legs. And,
definitely.
so because that's the other thing we've all talked about is, Kirsten, I ain't running distance sprints, nothing.
No, no,
Unless the
Kristen.
zombies are coming after me, and then I'm out running all y'all.
And
But
I just don't want to run distance. Sprints are fine.
yeah.
Distance is not
But
for me.
we've all talked about there's being in shape, but then there's being in riding shape because you're muscling a 200, 220-pound dirt bike around.
Yeah, it
So,
is a big difference from, every sport has their in shape, and I
yes.
promise you, I can attest to that. I would go from track shape to softball shape to doing both at the same time, and
Mm,
I would do soccer, and then I would have to go to basketball shape. And let me tell y'all, there is a very big difference between all of them.
yeah.
And you just have to once again find what works for you and how much you should do it. If fun
Stephanie.
to
All right. Well, listen, I got to cut you off, Reagan, because this thing
That's
is
cool,
going to
yeah.
cut us off at 8:30 because it'll be an hour. Actually, 8:29. But so, guys, you can DM Reagan and shoot your questions at her and stuff like that. I know she'll be happy to answer questions for you. And if you can't figure out who she is, holler at me, and I'll make sure you have her at and know who she is. But Reagan, I'm going to kick you out for now. Thank you
That's
so
cool.
much, and I appreciate it,
Yeah.
and we'll talk soon. Okay?
Definitely.
All right. Bye,
guys.
Reagan. All right, guys. So for those of you who joined late or whatever, let me remind you that I will be putting the live up on YouTube. I still need to post last week's. It took me 2 days to get our DSL up and running correctly. Anyway, thanks very much for joining us. I just want to leave you with right now with where we're at, guys. Be rational and kindness and compassion. We're all stressed out, and but we're going to get through this and lean on each other. Y'all, there's Skype, there's FaceTime, there's Facebook Messenger Live. You can video chat with people. I have a friend in Australia. We video chat using Facebook Messenger Live. There's lots of ways to stay in touch without having to touch. So utilize those. Take care of the people around you. But mindfulness, kindness, and compassion. And, let's get through this together, guys, because we all want to live to ride another day, right? Thanks, guys, for joining in. I got to go before I get cut off here. So talk to you soon. Hopefully, we'll all get to go riding soon, guys. So just take it easy, all right? And don't hoard the toilet paper. That's right, JD. Get out of my head. I was just about to say that. Good night, guys.